Good afternoon, everybody. How is all my wonderful subscribers and viewers out there doing today? I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. It's Nikki D, and welcome back to the Nikki D channel. Today, we're going to be doing the 2024 College Football Predictions Week 11 show, where I, Nikki D, break down 16 of the top 25 games this week. I let you know who I think is going to win. I let you know who I think is going to lose. What's your favorite game of the week? Let me know down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video, share the video on social media, and smash that subscribe button so you can be notified of when I drop my next video. I hope everybody continues to have a wonderful day, and without further ado, let's get to our first matchup on the 2024 College Football Predictions Week 11 show. We have the Utah State Aggies going on the road to take on number 21 ranked Washington State Cougars. And I think Washington State is going to do well in this game. Utah State is kind of an easy walk-through game regardless, and I think the passing game of Washington State is really going to shine in this game. I think that they'll have at least 3 touchdown passes in this game, as I'm picking number 21 Washington State to beat Utah State. In our next matchup, we have Shedeur Sanders and the number 20 ranked Colorado Buffaloes going on the road to take on the Texas Tech Red Raiders. And I think this game is going to be a little bit closer than what people expect. I do think that Shedeur Sanders is going to have a great game. I think Travis Hunter is going to have a great game for the Colorado Buffalo. And I do think it's going to really come down to who has the ball last. And I think the Colorado Buffalo are really trying to make it to the postseason playoffs. And I think this is a very important game for the Colorado Buffaloes, as I'm picking Colorado to beat Texas Tech. And our next matchup, we have the Virginia Cavaliers going on the road to take on number 18 ranked Pittsburgh Panthers. And Pittsburgh is coming off of a loss to SMU, but I think they were able to fix a lot of the mistakes that they made in that game, especially on the defensive side of the ball through the first 3 quarters. I don't think they're going to have a problem with that this week against Virginia. I do think Virginia could make this exciting in the first half, but I really think Pittsburgh's going to pull away in the second half. I'm picking number 18 Pittsburgh to beat the Virginia Cavaliers. And our next matchup, we have number 17 Iowa State Cyclones going on the road to Lawrence to take on the Kansas Jayhawks. And I think, again, similar to Pittsburgh, I think this is a rebound game for Iowa State. They are coming off of a shocking 1-point loss to Texas Tech last week, 23-22, to end their undefeated season. I do think that their path to the college football playoffs is still makeable for the Cyclones, and I do think it needs to start with the Kansas Jayhawks. I think Iowa State's going to have no problem getting their offense back on track this week, as I'm picking number 17 Iowa State to win at Kansas. And up next on the 2024 College Football Predictions Week 11 show, we have the Nevada Wolfpack going on the road to the Field of Blue to take on number 12 Boise State. And I think Ashton Gentry is going to have himself another Heisman-worthy game. I expect at least 150 yards on the ground from your boy and at least 2 touchdowns. And if he gets 200 yards and 3 touchdowns, I wouldn't be surprised there either. I don't think Nevada is going to keep it close. I'll be surprised if Nevada gets on the board. If they do, it's going to be early in the game, and that's it, or garbage points. I'm picking number 12 Boise State to put the beat down on Nevada. And our next matchup, we have number 11 Alabama going on the road to Baton Rouge as they are at number 15 LSU. And honestly, I really like this game. Both these teams are coming off of a bye, and Alabama beat down Missouri 2 weeks ago, 34-0, after they lost to Tennessee a few weeks ago. So I think Alabama is going to have a nice little offensive game. I think LSU is going to hang in this game, though. I really do. And I think this game is going to come down to who has the ball last. And I think coaching experience is going to be a major factor. I'm picking number 15 LSU to upset alert number 11 Alabama. In our next matchup, we have the 1-8 Florida State Seminoles going on the road into South Bend as they are at number 10 Notre Dame. And honestly, I think this is going to go exactly the way people expect it's going to go. I think Notre Dame is going to come out the box early. I wouldn't be surprised if they put up 28 or 35 points at the half. I don't think this game is going to be very competitive. And I'm picking Notre Dame to absolutely put the beat down on Florida State. And our next matchup, we have number 9 ranked BYU going on the road to take on the Utah Utes. And if this game happened earlier in the year, this would be a great matchup. But Utah has really fallen off this year, especially over the past 3 or 4 weeks. And BYU just continues to rise up. They are undefeated on the season, and I think they're going to stay undefeated at least for another week, as I'm picking number 9 BYU to win at Utah. And up next on the 2024 College Football Predictions Week 11 show, we have the defending national champion Michigan Wolverines going on the road as they are at number 8 Indiana Hoosiers. And I really feel like Indiana is going to be tested this week. I feel like their offense is going to go off again this week. I do think they're going to get at least 40 points. I think this is going to be a high scoring game. I think it'll be maybe a 1-2 touchdown advantage, as I am picking number 8 Indiana in a shootout to beat the Michigan Wolverines. And our next matchup, we have the Mississippi State Bulldogs going on the road into Knoxville to take on number 7 ranked Tennessee. And honestly, Mississippi State is 0-5 in conference play this year. They're 2-7 on the season, and I think Tennessee's running game is going to be in full effect here. Tennessee needs to have points at the end of the first quarter. Tennessee needs to have at least 21 points at half to prove that they could still be productive offensively in the first half of games, because they've got Georgia next week. So they really need to get everything back to the P's and Q's of the dominant Tennessee football we've come to see during the Heupel era. I think it's going to happen. I'm picking number 7 Tennessee to put the beat down on Mississippi State. And our next matchup, we have the Washington Huskies going on the road to University Park to take on number 6 ranked Penn State and Indy Lions. Penn State coming off of a 7-point loss to Ohio State last week, but I do think their season is going to be just fine. I think Washington is a perfect opponent for Penn State, a nice rebound game to get them back into the thick of the conversation of everything, and I think Penn State is going to be able to react to that well. I don't think this is going to be a close game particularly. I think Penn State will be up by at least 3 or 4 scores at the half, as I'm picking number 6 Penn State to put the beat down on Washington. And our next matchup, we have the Florida Gators going on the road to Austin to take on number 5 ranked Texas. And I think Texas and Florida, I think this is going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people expect. We saw last week, Florida can stay in games. They stayed in it against Georgia 2020 in the fourth. They even stayed in it a few weeks ago when they played Tennessee, forcing them to overtime. Florida can stay in games, and I think they're going to stay in this game. I do think Texas is going to show that they are them, and I'm picking Texas to narrowly beat the Florida Gators. And up next on the 2024 College Football Week 11 Prediction Show, we have number 4 Miami Hurricanes going on the road to Atlanta to take on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. And honestly, I think this is going to be the Cam Ward show. I do think Georgia Tech has a chance to stay in this game in the first half, but I think if Miami is in a close battle at half, they will quickly pull away in the second half. I don't expect the ending to be close, as Cam Ward is going to go do what Cam Ward does, and I'm picking number 4 Miami to beat Georgia Tech. And our next matchup, we have number 3 Georgia going on the road to Oxford to take on Jackson Dart and number 16 Ole Miss Rebels. And honestly, Carson Beck has really struggled over the past 2 games, especially over the past 5 games. Carson Beck has thrown 11 interceptions in the last 5 games, and he had his second consecutive game where he has thrown 3 or more interceptions. And I think that's going to come back to bite Georgia. I think Mississippi dropping 63 points on Arkansas in Fayetteville last week was a statement made. And I think if Carson Beck turns the ball over multiple times, which I'm expecting him to do, I think Mississippi State's going to drop enough points where Georgia's not going to be able to keep up. As upset alert, yes, I'm picking number 16 Mississippi to upset number 3 Georgia. And our next matchup, we see the Purdue Boilermakers going on the road into Columbus as they are at number 2 Ohio State. And I think Ohio State is a running game is going to really kick up in this game. I think Purdue might stay in it in the first quarter or so, but once Junkins gets going, I think Ohio State is going to run Purdue out of the building. I'm picking number 2 Ohio State to beat the Purdue Boilermakers. In our last game of the week, we have the Maryland Terrapin going on the road to Eugene as they are at number 1 Oregon. And I think Maryland is not going to be able to compete well. Maybe if this game was in Annapolis, then Maryland could use the home crowd. But Oregon's a top-ranked team in the land. They've got one of the best quarterbacks in the nation in Dylan Gabriel, and they've got home field advantage in Eugene. I think that's going to be too much for the Maryland Terrapin to overcome. I'm picking number 1 Oregon to put the beat down on Maryland. And that was the 2024 College Football Predictions Week 11 show. What game are you looking forward to seeing this weekend? Let me know down in the comments section below. Don't forget to like the video, share the video on social media, and you made it all the way to the end of this video, go smash that subscribe button so you could be notified of when I drop my next video. And if you want to see some more of me, Nicky D, then go check out another one of my videos, because I got hours of content that'll keep you entertained well into the evening. With that being said, I hope everybody continues to have a wonderful day. I'm Nicky D. This is the Nicky D channel, and I will see all of y'all beautiful people next time. Bye, y'all.